Welcome back on this Tuesday as we look at Exodus chapter 7. But before we start, remember we ended with Moses giving an excuse that he is of uncircumcised lips. The reminder that he doesn't think that he is able to do what God is asking him to do because he can't talk. But he's failing to recognize that it is God's power that will do this. So God is letting him know what he's about to do and how he's going to do that. Exodus 7, verse 1. And the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have made you like a god to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron shall be your prophet. You shall speak all that I command you, and your brother Aaron shall tell Pharaoh to let the people of Israel go out of his land. I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, Pharaoh will not listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt and bring my host, my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great acts of judgment. The Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord when I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring out the people of Israel from among them." God is saying that he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. Why would he harden Pharaoh's heart? First of all, knowing that Pharaoh is a stubborn man. He is the king, the ruler. He's not going to listen to this man, but yet God would use that for his good. He knew that Pharaoh would not listen to Moses, even though God was giving Moses the ability to do great things because it was God who would do it. He wouldn't listen, and God would send great plagues upon the people. And in the end, Pharaoh would let the people go, and the Egyptians would know that he, Yahweh, the Lord, is the one true God over all things. He hardened Pharaoh's heart so that all would know by whose power this was going to happen. In between here, there's the part, don't forget to read all of it, by the way, the whole chapter. You're going to miss out on a neat part of Moses or Aaron's staff turning into a snake, and the magicians doing the same thing with their staffs, but then Aaron's staff eats all of the other snakes. It's kind of a neat story, but we're going to pick it up with 14. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he is going out to the water. Stand on the bank of the Nile to meet him, and take in your hand the staff that turned into a serpent. And you shall say to him, 'The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, sent me to you, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. But so far you have not obeyed. Thus says the Lord, by this you shall know that I am the Lord. Behold, with the staff that is in my hand, I will strike the water that is in the Nile, and it shall turn into blood. The fish of the Nile shall die, and the Nile will stink, and the Egyptians will grow weary of drinking water from the Nile." And the Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over their rivers, their canals, their ponds, all their pools of water, so that they may become blood. And there shall be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, even in the vessels of wood and vessels of stone." So the first plague is turning the water of the Nile into blood. There is significance to the Nile. The Nile River is really the lifeblood of Egypt. It is what waters that parched land. It is what they use for irrigation, of course, for their own water goods, for that of their animals. Without the Nile River, Egypt would not be a world power. And now all of that water is going to be turned into blood as God shows his power over all of the gods of the Egyptians. Let's pick up with verse 20. Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded. In the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants, he lifted up the staff and struck the water in the Nile, and all the water in the Nile turned to blood, and the fish in the Nile died, and the Nile stank, so that the Egyptians could not drink water from the Nile. There was blood throughout all the land of Egypt, but the magicians of Egypt did the same thing by their secret arts. So Pharaoh's heart remained hardened, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. Pharaoh turned and went into his house, and he did not take even this to heart. And all the Egyptians dug along the Nile for water to drink, for they could not drink the water of the Nile. What a horrible situation, wasn't it? None of the water was able to be drank. It stunk. All of the fish died. It was a terrible time to be living in that land of paradise in many ways. God had shown his power, but the magicians used their magic arts, whatever that is, to do the same thing. And Pharaoh wouldn't believe. He wouldn't listen. So he went to his house, didn't even bat an eyelid. And then verse 25. 7 full days passed after the Lord had struck the Nile. 1 week in God's perfect timing, this plague came to an end. And at the end of this plague, Pharaoh still hasn't changed his mind. His heart is hard, and God will send other plagues to come upon them. We'll read of the next one in next couple in chapter 8. Stand by, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. God bless.